Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike, the intern, Ned Reynolds, halfway point of the week. Rasheed Rice has gone under the knife. The surgery was successful, and that's great news. It's, from what I've heard, a season ender, but then I read yesterday they're saying like 4 months. So there is a slight possibility if the Chiefs go to the postseason, stranger things have happened.
It would be a huge gamble if that were the case because it takes the body that long. Now, the ACL that's the key ligament that you don't want torn because that does put you out for a year, and it's a tough ligament to reattach and get. The surgical repair is difficult. He did not tear his ACL, but he did his LCL, which is the lateral collateral ligament. And they had to do some repair on it and had to do some general cleaning up. There was also some other non-related issues that they took care of, and that's fine. I would be very surprised if he sees action again this year. And, Mike, here's the catch to it. He should be, according to the doctors, fine for football next year. But is he going to be fine with the legals? That's the case, because he will be probably going to the courtroom. He's been charged, as everyone knows, with 8 counts, and one of them's aggravated assault with the vehicle from that accident in March it was. But the fact is that from a physical standpoint, goes through the rehab, he should be fine to play football again.
That's good news, and we can't wait to get him back. Let's talk about some not-so-good news in the sports world this morning.
Well, it's 2 guys who are very familiar names. One, of course, Luis Tiant, who was just a mainstay in Major League Baseball, Cleveland Indians, Boston Red Sox. He had that quirky delivery that got him 229 Major League Baseball victories in his 19-year career. He was a very effective pitcher. He wasn't a hard thrower in terms of speed, but he knew how to pitch. And a Cuban refugee, he learned the game so very well up here. Luis Tiant passing away at the age of 83, and he was a mainstay. The other one kind of hits home a little bit. Former St. Louis football Cardinal Pat Fisher, who was an all-pro defensive back, passed away yesterday at the age of 84. In his college days at Nebraska, he was an outstanding quarterback. And they played one way. It was single platoon back then when he was playing, not 2 platoon. On defense, he was a D-back, QB with he's a D-back with the football Cardinals, and a QB at Nebraska for the Cornhuskers under Bob Devaney. But Pat Fisher passing away yesterday at the age of 84. Put these obits on the air. We do it for nostalgia. You certainly don't want to or like to, but hey, these people were part of our lives.
And it sucks when they have to go, but that is a part of life, my friend. Another part of life is new beginnings, and that's exactly what the NHL did yesterday, and the St. Louis Blues kicked off their season with a dub.
They did indeed. They went out to Seattle, played the Seattle Kraken in the season opener. It was the first game in the National Hockey League. The season opened with 3 games on October 8th, and the Blues were one of them. This one puzzles me because I don't know why they did this, but that game was in the afternoon out in Seattle.
Yeah.
And why that's the case, I don't know, unless it's some kind of maybe some kind of holiday baseball. The Seattle Mariners are not involved in it.
With the competition, I guess. Maybe they just want everyone to watch each game, and that starts with the afternoon. They're the opening act, I guess.
But whatever it was an afternoon match out in Seattle, and the Blues win by a score of 3-2. Season's underway. National Hockey League, folks, opens up. It's 81 games. Opens up in early October, as it has, October 8th this year. It closes in the first week in April. 81 games all during that period of time. Now, the NBA opens up next week. That'll be a different story. Also 81 games, but theirs are more compact in a way. But, hey, different. It's here, and it occupies the winter sports scene.
Later on today, early evening time, if you hear something loud, it's just Kauffman Stadium, about 2.5 hours north. The only time I think I would say that Arrowhead Stadium can be matched is Kauffman Stadium in a playoff game.
Well, in terms of the excitement, probably not. They both are equal. Many of the Chiefs fans are Royals fans as well. But in terms of volume, no. Arrowhead will still beat it because they'll have 75 or 76, 77, whatever it is. That's more people. And Kauffman Stadium only seats about 40. Not that that's bad. That's
still
a big
going to be
crowd.
loud, though, man.
Oh, you bet. It's the Royals and the New York Yankees in Game 3 of their best-of-5 series. Looks like Seth Lugo is going to get the call tonight, 16-9 on the year with one of the great turnaround seasons ever in MLB. Lugo's not a kid, folks. Out of Centenary University in Shreveport, Louisiana. He's been around the major leagues for a long time, and here he is coming on with a 16-9 record and a 3.0 ERA. Hey, he'll get the call tonight. Clark Schmidt will pitch for the Yankees. Now you're saying, who is he? Well, Clark Schmidt was the Yankees' #1 draft choice back in 2017, and he'll take the hill. Now he's had problems in the major leagues, 5-5 this year, but under 3 point on his earned run average, 2.85 to be specific. Be a pretty good pitching matchup tonight. Royals and the Yankees in Kansas City. First of 2 games it'll be there. Hey, go Royals.
That's what I'm saying, baby. And I have a really good feeling that if the Royals take tonight, they've taken the gas. They've taken the gas out of New York. Oh, I'd love to go back there and take it from them in New York right in front of everybody. It'd be great. It'd be so good for all those wonderful Yankee fans out there. You know what? Who else I'm rooting for? And it's because I was a big fan of his when I worked for the Springfield Cardinals, and then when he was with the St. Louis Cardinals, Mike Shelton, the San Diego Padres. And last night they were just tearing it up.
They were in the 1 inning. It was enough to get him a win.
The 1 inning I actually got a chance to watch, which was like, I can't believe I turned it on and all this happened.
That was all the scoring.
Then I went to bed.
So, interestingly enough, you're right. The San Diego Padres beat the Los Angeles Dodgers 6-5 with all of the scoring done in the first, second, and third innings for the entire result of the game. Los Angeles scored first in the first inning, had a 1-0 lead. Padres came back with 6 runs, all 6 of their winning runs in the second inning. David Peralta, Fernando Tatis Jr., all with very big hits in that one. And the Padres holding on with some good pitching. 6-5, the Padres beat the Los Angeles Dodgers, so San Diego now has the 2-1 lead in that one. And, yeah, I love Mike Schilt. Cardinals never should have let him go. Now, in the other game, the other New York team, they're on the verge of pushing the Phillies right out of extinction. Philadelphia showed what they had. Philadelphia won well over 90 games this year and won the National League East, but they're inconsistent in their hitting. They hit the long ball. They can come up with big rallies and all that sort of thing, but good pitching will shut them down. And the guy who shut them down yesterday for the New York Mets pitched at Hammons Field at least once in his career and maybe a couple of times. He went to college at Indiana State over in Terre Haute. Sean Manaea, really good. He's Hispanic descent, but he is born in this country. And he shut down the Phillies big time. He's a real tough lefty, came over from the Oakland A's to the Mets, and they've made the most of it. He went 7 innings and just showed Philadelphia everything. It was an awfully tough game. Game 3, perhaps the finale, or Game 4, I should say, perhaps the finale is coming up today at Citi Field. A Mets win, and they are into the National League Championship Series.
You think, I know this is all hypothetical, but let's say that in a different universe, a different timeline, the front office for St. Louis looks a little bit different than it should right now, and Mike Schilt's still the manager of the St. Louis Cardinals. You think we're in the postseason right now?
Yes.
Me too.
Because of the way they play. You watch that San Diego team. Now, San Diego can hit the long ball. They did last night. Tatis had a home run. David Peralta had a home run. They can hit the long ball, but that's not what they're based on.
They don't rely on
Based on contact and getting those people on base. And that's what they did last night, and Schilt had to love every single second of it. They're a good team. They have very good players. That's not to say they're unbeatable. They are not. But indeed, the Padres under Mike Schilt have played very well.
And they're a fun team to watch, and it looks like they're all having a blast because that's what the sport's all about. Last but not least, we have some big marquee games, including a little shootout around the Red River this weekend.
Except they don't call it the shootout anymore.
Well, we can. I don't care.
Yeah, we can. We can do that, but it's the Red River rivalry is what they call that, but it's been going on for the better part of a century and a half now. Oklahoma, Texas. Texas happens to be number 1 in America. Oklahoma is ranked 18th, but throw that out. It means nothing. These teams, this is such a great rivalry, and it's within the Southeastern Conference. Both teams are SEC. So they'll pack the Cotton Bowl, as they always do, with about 75,000 folks on Saturday, right around noontime, maybe a little bit later on in the afternoon. And Texas plays Oklahoma. Missouri has a non-conference game at Massachusetts. There's no masking the fact Massachusetts isn't very good. They're trying to rebuild their program and get it back to full strength again where it had been one time, but they're a long, long way from doing that. So Missouri should go into Amherst, Massachusetts and have a pretty good time. This is the marquee game. Number 2, Ohio State plays number 3, Oregon, out in Eugene, Oregon, at the really interesting stadium they have out there. The Bears have played out there at Oregon. I guess it's been about 10 or 11 years ago. Really unique, but a big crowd. Not big as far as Ohio State's concerned, because Ohio Stadium seats about 106,000 people. This one does not, but the crowd will be raucous, and Ohio State and Oregon will play. That's another big one. South Carolina goes to Alabama. Kansas State goes and plays the Neon Deons.
I am so excited to go into Colorado, and I hope they just smack them all up and down that field. I just hope it. Oh, God, it'd make me so happy. The only thing I was going to complain about is, guys, come on. I know it's a Saturday night, but this is the second time this season that the K-State Wildcats have had to play after 9 o'clock. That's crazy.
TV purposes.
9:30 starts.
Well, it's 9:30 here. It'd be 8:30 out in Boulder. But the fact is that Colorado, that they do that for Colorado in prime time. Everybody wants to see the Colorado Buffalo. They want to see Deion Sanders on the sideline. They want to see his son playing, and the son, Shahir, is a very good player. That'll be a lot of fun. But I do want to throw this in. First of all, the Bears football team, which is 25 in America, plays at Illinois State. And then just about that same time, but not literally because it starts at 6:30, Missouri State plays Drury in baseball at Hammons Field. It's the annual Battle for Bell that benefits the ALS Foundation at Cox Health Systems, and it's a very big deal. There are 2 games. The one at noontime is Mission versus Evangel. Mission is the new name for BBC. They play at 12 noon, and then at 6:30, the Bears and Drury, and it's a great rivalry, been going on for about a decade now, honoring the memory of Howard Bell.
Ned, you have a wonderful day. Enjoy the ball games tonight, and I will see you tomorrow.